Hi there, my name is Will, and I recently, 3.5 weeks ago, had a single disc fusion where they went in, they put two titanium screws in my L5 and my S1. They put a plate that connects two screws, basically replacing a piece of my vertebrae, that stabilizing piece of the vertebrae, and they also took out the old disc and put in, I assume it's some kind of rubber, silicone spacer in between my L5 and my S1. So this is a major operation. I had a failed microdissectomy where they went in and shaved the disc and the bone spurs. Cleaned up some ligaments back in about 5 months ago, and basically I've been in a lot of pain for a little over 2 years now. Like I said, I had did physical therapy, I've done epidurals, all this stuff. Had a failed surgery in October. Went to a new doctor, Dr. Burkus at the Houston Clinic in Columbus, Georgia. I'm not sure I'm supposed to say his name, but I'm going to give a very positive report here, so I don't think I'll get in any trouble for giving some positive publicity to Dr. Burkus. The reason I'm posting this video is because prior to my surgery, I went online, I looked at YouTube videos, I looked at forums, and it appears that most of the people that post videos are people that are complaining. I'm not saying that's the case every time. I found one very positive video series where a guy gave 1 month reports, 2 month report, all the way through to a year. And that's what I hope to do as well. So I'm giving a positive report. Today is May the 14th, and on February the 19th, like I said, I had the single disc fusion. I have not felt better in the last 2 years than I feel right now. For 2 years, I had pain, sciatica, down my right leg, all the way down to the foot. Honestly, it felt like my right foot was in a bucket of ice water all the time. I had the surgery on the 19th. I woke up, of course, I was doped up, but I literally woke up laying on the bed in ICU, and I had no pain in my leg for the first time in 2 years. I could not believe it. So this is my story. These are the things I've done in the 3.5 weeks since my surgery that I think have been very beneficial to me, and I hope that will be beneficial to you as well. Before I left the hospital, I stayed in the hospital for spent one night in ICU. It wasn't because of my health, but the doctor likes to have, with the surgery, one-on-one nurse-to-patient ratio attention. Then I spent 3 days in a normal hospital room. The worst part about the whole stay is the catheter. I never had a catheter, just something to be aware of. I didn't even think about that before my surgery. Had physical therapy come in. They get you up, walk in right away. Just a little walk into the bathroom, walk in down the hall. By the third day, I was walking around multiple times a day. And one of the big things that they told me was BLT, no bending, no lifting over 5 pounds, so something about a half a gallon of milk, and no twisting. So that's BLT, easy to remember, no bending, lifting, and twisting. Some other things I found, the nurse told me, I don't know if this is doctor's orders, but I was told not to elevate, or like when I'm laying down, not to raise myself up more than 20 degrees. So I stuck with that all the way through this. I also received information from my doctor to avoid recliners. Evidently, when you're recovering from the surgery, it takes about 90 days for the metal and your bones and everything to fuse, because they take, I don't know if it's marrow or what, but they take something out of your hip and they put it in where the disc is at to keep everything to fuse together, and it takes about 90 days for that stuff to become permanent. I also had to quit. I love cigars. Had to quit smoking cigars for about 6 months, and I tell you what, compared to the enjoyment I get from a cigar or smoking, and the enjoyment I have from not having pain in my leg, hands down, I just don't even want a cigar as long as I don't have this pain in my leg. My best friend during this, my best friend's been my family. My family's taken really good care of me, great wife, some kids who've been able to help me out. But my wife got me one of these little mechanical grabbers, which allows you to pick stuff up off the floor. Can't imagine how handy that thing is when you can't bend over to be able to grab a hold of your shoes, socks, get out the shower, pick up, stuff off the floor. You're going to drop stuff. I don't know why, but probably for the first week when I got home, I kept dropping stuff. I don't know if it's because I was heavily medicated, taking Percocets and everything, but that little handy grabber, $15 on Amazon, that has been an absolute lifesaver. being really avoiding bending over, learning to lift up stuff like your socks or your underwear with your feet, so that you don't have to bend over and grab it. I really attribute stuff like that, really following that BLT, to my recovery. You're going to be inactive a lot. You've got to rest. I've been very fortunate. I had about 30 days of leave. I'm convalescent leave and leave that I've accrued that I've been able to take, so I've been able to stay home. But you've got to find something to occupy your mind, or you're going to feel good and you're going to want to do stuff and you're going to hurt yourself. You've got to let your body heal. You've got to stay down. For me, I think I've read 3 books in the last 3.5 weeks. I've learned to whittle, which has been a lot of fun. I started off with bars of soap, and now I'm working on wood. And I have the sloppiest, probably in the top 10% of the sloppiest handwriting in America. So I have been working on my handwriting. So find something that you can occupy your time while you're sitting down to help keep your mind occupied, so you don't get bored, so you don't feel useless, and so that you can stay inactive the way that you're supposed to and heal. Now, by staying inactive, I was told by my doctor to walk, and I walk. I've got one of these little watches that counts my steps, and for the first week, I just got up and walked around a little bit. I've got a little loop in front of my house. I'd walk for 5 minutes at a time, and I'd come lay back down. I've actually been averaging about 4 to 5 miles a day walking. This isn't all at one time, but this is getting up, and I'll walk for 5 to 15 minutes, and I'll come back inside. An hour later, I'll go walk for 5 to 15 minutes, and I'll come back inside. I was told that that's an important part of the healing process, and for me, that has been great. I've actually walked 6 miles in a day and had, not, like I said, not nonstop. This is periodic, it broken down into fractions, but I have really no pain. I have a little bit of very mild, the scale 1 to 10 they talk about. I sat at a 6 all the time, but I have a little bit of pain in my right hip. Now, a friend of mine had a very similar surgery about 8 months ago, and he told me that when they do the surgery, they have to cut this particular muscle that runs down into your hip, and it has been shortened, and he's in physical therapy and stuff now, and he said once you get into physical therapy, it'll take that pressure, it'll re-lengthen that hip muscle, and you won't have that pain in your hip anymore. I can tell you that the pain that I have in my hip does not feel like nerve pain, so I do believe that what he's saying makes perfectly sense to me. I will say that, everybody's going to be different, but I have recovered great. I can't believe how great I feel after the surgery. Day 5 and 6, I was at home. I'd done a little bit of walking. I really thought maybe I'd overdid or whatever. I woke up and I was in pain. Personally, I quit taking the muscle relaxers that night because I would wake up in the morning. I don't know if things would just settle because I took a muscle relaxer before I went to sleep. But day 5 and 6 were very, very hard. I even called the doctors thinking I had done something to screw it up. But by day 7, I was feeling great again. And the thing that really scared me the most was the fact that I had no pain for days 1 through 4, but all of a sudden 5 and 6, I had a lot of pain in my right hip and a little bit in my leg, but it went away. And it's just the healing process. You gotta stay down, stay inactive, don't ride around in a car too much, stuff like that. The biggest thing I found, of course, narcotics, Percocet, or if they put you on Vicodin. I took a Percocet today for the first time in 4 days. I've just been taking Tylenol. You can't have any anti-inflammatories, so no Motrin or Aleve or things like that after the surgery. But the biggest thing that I found, if I do have any pain come on, and most of this is just that hip pain I was talking about, I'll go lay down 10, 20 minutes, and that pain goes away. It feels like, when you're standing up, you've got gravity and everything's pushing down on your spine. That's one of the reasons, as we get older, we get these injuries to begin with. You lay down flat and it takes that gravitational pressure, your muscles, everything weighing down your spine. It takes that pressure off, and it takes all my pain away. Better than the narcotics or anything. Just laying down flat. I go lay in the bed, on the couch. The bed has been a little bit better than the couch for me. I even laid down on the floor one time because I wasn't around a bed or a couch. Just getting that pressure off your spine for 5 to 20 minutes, depending on how severe it is, makes a world of a difference. Anyway, like I said, this is a very positive note. I've taken up about 10 minutes of your time, so I know I drug on a little bit. Stay positive. Find a good doctor. Find a doctor you trust, and I hope that your experience with your surgery is going to be as good as mine. I plan on posting one of these videos about once a month all the way through the year because I was told it was going to be about a 1-year process before you can get to what could be considered full recovery. So if you have any questions, hit me up on YouTube. But I wish you the best. And like I said, my results, I cannot believe how great I feel. So thank you, Dr. Burkus.